It is actually midnight here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And that means it's just about time for the Midnight Gamescast. This is the Midnight Gamescast. We record every Monday night at midnight, and then we bring it to YouTube every Tuesday as a weekly wrap-up. Every Wednesday is Video Game True or False, and every Thursday is Video Takeover.
True.
As always, my name is Brian Paul, and to my right, your left, is Jeremy King.
Hello. Very cold here.
Is it cold?
Yes.
Oh, you're all bundled up.
Freezing.
Yeah.
Didn't even take your hat off.
No. Oh, and I can't now. Shower, then put the hat on.
Stay a while. Stay forever. Remember Impossible Mission 2?
No. Wait, what is it?
It was a video game.
Is
It
that
was on
actually how he
NES and
sounds?
Commodore 64. Yeah, it was kind of famous for having like digitized speech early on. Way too early. Oh, and to my left, you were right, Michelle Varacchione.
Hey guys. So go on.
We apologize. We're kind of all over the place. Work ran late, and so these two were very, very accommodating. We were recording later than usual, so we got to kind of bust through this episode. But trust me, it's going to be a good one.
Oh, it's always.
Always a good one.
Except like the first or the second or the third or the fourth. Those ones are a little dry.
Always, except
After
for
that,
let me
no.
give you a list.
I don't know. I think right around episode 20 we hit our stride.
Yeah.
It was more
like, oh hey, I get how to do this now.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, it took a bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Before we begin anything, I just want to do a couple of housekeeping notes. We need to shout out Deanna and Liam, who I met tonight. Very, very cool people. Hopefully they're watching this. If they're not, then well, hopefully they're watching.
Yes. Hopefully word gets out to them and they fucking check it out, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
tell them.
I should have gotten their
I
last
just
name
did.
and then found them on Facebook and been like,
Giving
Oh,
out
you
their
gave them a
social
without
after Michelle
Corolla
wrote hers
pen.
down there.
right. Well, we should probably begin this episode the way we begin every episode, and that's with a little game of should we or shouldn't we. It's when we put 60 seconds up on the clock, and then we put the clock up on the counter, because that's the way Jeremy likes it.
Yes, thump.
Come on. I like your hat.
Do you?
Yeah. You're kind of gangster.
A little gangster.
Chintzy
Gangster.
and thin, but
Chintzy.
my work one is like a little more poofy.
That's,
Yes.
Yeah.
all right.
Like them down there.
So they are chintzy, but
Chintzy.
they are not poofy.
Thin.
Then.
Oh, my other one was poofy.
Poofy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who wants to start? Oh, 6 seconds up on the clock, and that's when we get. We have 60 seconds to tell
Fast
you, the loyal viewers, the Game Cats.
Meow.
No. We're weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have 60 seconds to tell you what we've been playing, and then we try to convince you whether you should or should not be playing or watching the things we've been playing or watching.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Lady.
Sure.
All right.
I'll take over.
On your mark, get set, go.
I've been playing a lot of things this week, but one in particular I've been playing is Life is Strange. I played it on Xbox. It is a 5-part adventure game. I only beat all of the first part, which was free, and I guess you have to buy the rest of them, so I haven't got that far yet.
Yeah.
But it's this time traveler, this teenage girl. She goes to a photography school, so throughout it you have to take a lot of pictures and things like that. But the time traveling is cool because you can go back in time and fix things that you decided to like do or say to somebody that affected you in the future. So you would have to go back and change that way because the outcome obviously wasn't right. Or it's pretty cool. There's a lot of like tornadoes and disturbing people, weird things happen. But it was interesting and it was fun, and you should definitely play it. And that's 51, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're wasting all your time.
Yep.
And hurry up, finish up. And boom. All right. Yeah, Life is Strange. Did you play that?
I downloaded it when it was free, but I have not begun it.
Right on.
I had fun with it.
Yeah.
You should-
I love those
it was,
adventure type
It was really
games,
quick,
too.
too.
About halfway through your description, I thought you were going to break into the Quantum Leap theme song, going back in time and fixing things that once went
What's
wrong.
wrong? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that one day his next sleep
Will be the leap home. Yes.
Oh, God.
Dun.
And he did get to go home, but I mean,
Oh God, those were such sad
then he
episodes.
met God in the bar, and
Oh,
then he
God.
never leaped home again after that, and he died.
Sad episodes.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, really. I played almost the whole first episode of Life is Strange. I got the collector's edition, so I actually paid for the first episode,
Okay.
and it was good. It didn't grab me. I did like the picture taking element.
I like the picture taking element.
I didn't like the little being a teenage girl element.
Yeah, that's,
Like, I
that's fair. No, this is definitely like a girly game. It really is.
I couldn't relate to being a teenage girl despite my love of iCarly.
Yeah, right?
My love of Bright Eyes. My love of The Academy is. I'm 14
I love
and
2 out of
female.
3 of those.
Yes,
things.
really.
You would love iCarly if I made you watch more episodes. We watched an
This is
episode
true.
together.
Yeah, it was fun actually.
Yeah. We watched the
Yeah.
One Direction episode of all things.
I've never seen
Yep.
one of them.
And then for like the next week straight, I kept hearing
Not
that
once.
same song on the radio over and over again. Like,
That's how it works.
yeah.
Right.
Is it similar? Do you remember The Longest Journey on PC?
Dreamfall.
Well, yeah. The one prior to that, but The Longest Journey was the first one.
Oh, okay. I thought it was called Dreamfall: The Longest Journey.
Oh, maybe?
I don't know.
I forget. I'd believe
Point and
you
click
over
adventure
me.
game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that must have been it. It
I
was
don't know.
great.
I didn't play it.
I loved. Oh, you didn't?
Don't trust me.
Oh. It was one of my favorites. Oh, so then I can't ask if it was like that because you were a teenage girl
Okay.
in that.
So obviously it's got to be the same
All right,
game.
so it's clearly,
exactly
clearly it's the
the
exact
same.
same thing. Oh, actually, before you guys go, I do want to say one more thing. I did.
Wait, you wasted the last 8
I know.
seconds. Oh, I got one more thing.
I got one more thing now.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm coming in. All right. So I played Brothers
face.
again, and
Tried not to, but I had to.
Nice.
the game that I hated on all last week.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I went back and I played it and I beat it, and I ended up really enjoying it a lot.
Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I loved
Tale
getting
of
that.
Two Sons.
I loved getting that text message from you where you were like, "I take it back.
Yeah.
I was
really.
wrong.
I was wrong. I'm
I
sorry.
love this game." Yeah.
And I don't know if that's
Yeah.
going to be your 60 seconds, but there was something we had also kind of, agreed upon. And then we ended the topic right there.
Is that going to be your 60 seconds? Because
It doesn't have to be, no.
Well, no,
I have
that's
other
not mine.
things to talk about.
All right. Up next.
I'm going to go next.
Go for it.
On my mark, get set, go.
Boom.
I've been playing just briefly. I didn't get real far into it. The Uncanny Valley, which is fairly new on PlayStation 4 and Vita, cross-buy. So for I think $12.99, you get both versions, which I fucking love that.
Yeah, that's
but
nice.
I'm having a problem because it doesn't seem to be cross-save. So if you're playing on one, you don't get to just pick up on the other one.
Oh, shit.
But it's cool because it's kind of got this 8-bit kind of retro style to it. I was playing it on the Vita, which was a great excuse to play my Vita. And
Yeah,
it's
right.
kind of survival horror. The type of scares, the suspenseful type of scares, remind me of Silent Hill more than anything. Very creepy. You play as a newly hired security guard for a place that's basically abandoned, and you're kind of wondering why do they need a security guard when there's nobody here. And then you quickly find out that fucking shit's insane, and I don't know if they need a security
You're
guard,
like,
but
they
they might need an exorcist. Right? And it's the art style is awesome, and one of the great things I love, whenever you see like that old school like pixel art style, I'm totally going to go over my time, you always wonder when you're downloading it and stop, you wonder why the game is so big. You're like, it's this thing that could have fit on a disc for the Commodore 64,
Yeah.
and it's like 7 gig.
Holy
Right?
shit.
No,
yeah.
but the Uncanny Valley is like 48 megabytes. 48 megabytes. It took like 7 seconds to download. I was like, this game is awesome. You can have it on your Vita and not even take up any space.
Really?
Yeah.
A picture.
I've looked into it a little bit further.
Yeah.
Because I'm only not even an hour in. It's only about 4 hours long.
All right.
Multiple endings. You get to make a lot of decisions that affect how you play and the outcomes.
Yeah.
And apparently, to get the most out of it, you want to play multiple times. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play through once and be like, okay, that was fun.
Right.
But for having that old school art style, it's already scared me a few times, which I'm like kind of impressed by.
Nice.
Yeah. So, should we?
So you're still getting scared after you played Resident Evil?
No. I mean, but
Yeah. All right.
in a different way. It's like, suddenly like you hear this screeching and like all this shit's chasing after you. You're like, whoa, where'd they come from? Run. And you're like tense up.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're not petrified the way you are in Resident Evil.
Yep.
You get some suspense there, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Are you ready?
On
your mark.
Sure.
Get set.
Suspense.
Go.
I hope it'll last.
Suspense.
And go.
So I'll probably crisscross because there's a few topics on my mind.
Jump.
Number one, I saw. Yeah, very good. I did see. We went and saw John Wick Chapter 2.
Right on.
Yeah, it was awesome. Definitely what you'd expect. More badassdom from the John Wickster. He's pretty awesome. Anyways, so I don't want to.
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin any more than that. All right, except Lawrence Fishburne overacts big fucking time. I don't know. He's trying to overshadow fucking Keanu or something in the brief scene he was in. Either way, whatever. Good movie. Well worth seeing. Second, I finally beat Final Fantasy, as you guys know.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Standing ovation?
Yeah.
I'm not standing.
Yay. Fucking stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the amount of hours you put into that. I
Back-
better stand
8 seconds.
83 hours, 39 minutes,
No
and
way.
3 seconds.
83
Oh,
hours.
Yeah,
God.
and I loved it. And I was so go bro at the end. Remember how in the beginning I was
Yeah.
so fucking broy? It's
Yeah.
so broy. Well, by the end, I don't want to give anything away, but I still get upset about this damn game.
Oh, no.
No, it was good. You know, I definitely enjoyed it. I would still say it was probably an 8. It wasn't perfect. Maybe even a 7.8 if you want to get that exact. And I only say because it was buggy. The camera sucked at times. The story was really choppy. They really fucking left things out and just didn't explain certain things. But it was still really fun. And
I feel like you enjoyed it more than
I did.
more than not.
The
so.
combat was fun, and I loved exploring the environments. Very detailed. I don't know. It was a good game.
All right.
Word.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, you put in a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, there's only been a few others I put above that. And that was Final Fantasy 13 and Shadow Hearts Covenant.
And this is better than 13.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Would-
I couldn't get into 13.
Would you say it's the best Final Fantasy?
No, I you know what? When 12 comes back around, see, I can't judge 12 like that though, because 12 is older, a lot older.
Huh.
So when that comes out remastered, because that was my definite favorite. But yeah,
Word.
it's very enjoyable.
Sweet.
But you and I also, this week,
Yes.
got back into another game that had
Yes.
some camera issues.
Yeah.
The Last Guardian.
Yeah. Trico.
What are you thinking about that so far?
So at first I was frustrated with the puzzles and how fucking Trico just didn't do shit. And then a little bit later, I was starting to understand how the puzzles would work, and I started, actually gaining some sympathy for this fucking digital animal, this electronic bullshit on my screen, programmed to act programmed to act certain ways. And then I started wanting to pull spears out of him. Then I started panicking when he was hungry. Then I started being like, look at his eyes, look at him, and
Right.
petting him in certain areas.
Yep.
And understanding we both had a connection instead of working through puzzles together. And I understood all of it like that. The learning curve and how it geared you towards everything.
Yeah.
And made you work towards building a connection together, which seems like it's a good portion of the game.
I feel like all the reviews I saw made me not want to play it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, Trico never does what you want him to do.
Yeah.
And the puzzle solving doesn't make sense because, when you're trying to get him to do something and it doesn't seem to be responding, then you figure, well, that must not be the solution to the puzzle. And I don't know. It seemed like everyone who reviewed
They were
it,
hating on it a little bit.
rushed through it.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to take the time and like create that bond.
Yeah.
Right. And so I got about an hour in and I was like, I don't know. And then something
Yeah,
clicked.
I remember when you first started, you were like, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
Yeah.
I thought I texted you something about
Yeah.
I played an hour and I've had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was in the same boat.
Then we didn't say anything for like a week,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden, phew.
Well, and then I finished Resident Evil, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to play something on a regular television.
Yeah.
And I was not enjoying the look of it. I wasn't enjoying the frame rate's not that good. It's like
No,
definitely
no.
chugs. And then something happened, and I was just frustrated. I couldn't figure out a puzzle, and I climbed up on top of Trico, and I started petting his head.
Yeah.
And I just held down the button, and I laid back, and I was like, how the hell am I going to figure out this puzzle?
Yeah.
And I was just holding down the pet button.
Yeah.
And he was petting, and I was like, this is so cathartic somehow. This is so therapeutic. And then as soon as I was done petting, Trico stood up with me on his head,
Yeah.
and he took this flying leap to the next segment of the game.
Yeah.
Like he just
Like you
like
pleased
that.
him?
I did. Like I just needed to coerce him to get him to move on, to get
Yeah.
to do the next part. And I was like,
But
oh.
that wasn't part of the puzzle that you were trying to solve, right?
I was like, how do I get to the next area? And then he got up and brought me there. So
okay.
yes, actually it was.
All right.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if
There you go.
sometimes it
Unbelievable.
reacts that certain way because I've like done things and tried getting him to do things and I know it involves him. And I'll get right on top of his head and I'll stand up and do the thing like that where I match, and he'll say like, "Rah," and then he'll do it sometimes. And I don't know if it just takes an aggressive approach.
Right.
But I've also seems like it's like I've made up in my head or he reacts differently. I don't know. that he likes being pet behind his wing, on the side, on the back of his neck, makes him do this with his neck. Yeah, do certain
This
things.
is actually a thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not insane alone playing this.
Well,
You're insane, but I'm also insane. And I got to say, when I'm playing it, it totally reminds me of Eco.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when you run around, it's just the boy,
Yeah.
and then every time you climb up on Trico,
Yep.
it reminds me of fucking the Shadow of the Colossus.
yeah.
But you have your own little Colossus following you around.
Yeah, yeah.
As part of the level
That's
design.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's adorable. The bond between them is phenomenal, and
Yeah.
I know something bad's gonna happen.
I know,
and I'm
you know
already
it. I know.
sad for whatever it's gonna
Ah.
yeah.
And it makes you feel sympathy, like certain puzzles, he's standing on top of something with nothing around him but a pit, and you got to climb on his head and jump off and climb and get around somewhere and lure him up there, and you just feel nervous for him. Like, I got to hurry up. He's sitting there waiting.
be. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
Good.
It's
Bad things to come.
I understand it now.
it's emotional.
Yeah.
I understand
It's
it now.
emotional. It's gonna be good, and I'm gonna cherish all the time I spend with it. I'm not gonna rush through it.
No.
So again, I think that's the problem the reviews had.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. A couple news stories happened this week that we should probably blast through just to because this is the weekly wrap up. We never talk about things that actually happened.
No, we don't.
The coolest thing on the face of the planet happened, and that's that we found out that Netflix is going to air Castlevania, the animated
yeah.
series, which is a 4-part, 30-minute each episode animated Castlevania show.
Yeah.
It's coming out this year in the style of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And the quote is, the series is going to be R-rated as fuck.
Yeah. Isn't that
R-rated
crazy?
as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I can't wait.
That
Right?
sounds amazing.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I don't even care what the storyline is.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Totally down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there's a part of me that actually likes that it's only going to be 4 episodes because,
Yeah.
you know, things come out and you're like, I don't have
Short
time
and
to
sweet.
watch 15 episodes. And,
I know, really.
You know, wait for season 2 and this and that.
And you feel
And then
compelled to
sometimes
sit
they-
down and binge, and you're like, I don't
Yeah.
have time to do this.
You could watch all 4 of these in one sitting.
Yeah,
And the stale
exactly.
episodes in some of them, you know, that are like filler episodes, you know,
Right.
when they have too many.
This could be
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah, absolutely.
The way we like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2017 Call of Duty. So this year's Call of Duty is abandoning its future setting.
Yeah.
It's going back to its roots. The quote we got from
Was it
God,
Treyarch this time, or is
no.
it the Infinity Ward and
is
whoever
it
they do it now?
Sledgehammer. Is that one?
Sledgehammer.
Is that
Who
one of them?
knows? I stopped paying attention
I think that's
years
them.
ago.
This one, Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare was not the success we planned.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't. They're listening to fans. We didn't want the future stuff, so they're bringing it back to its roots.
Yeah.
You're the resident Call of Duty fan.
I like Call of Duty, and I'm happy with this decision.
You are.
I am.
Good.
Yes. I've actually been kind of playing a little bit of Call of Duty lately again. I keep trying to set it down and not play, but I always
The
that's kind
Battlefield
of like
got
my
you in the mood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And Call of Duty Zombies is kind of my thing too. So that's just something where like I sit down and I want to play something, but I don't really want to have to, you know, learn something new. I just want to shoot people for a while,
Yeah.
you know. So I'll go and that's my go-to game for that. So, but
Works.
no, this should be. I think this is a good call for them.
And 2 more
Of
pieces.
Duty.
So I thought this was interesting when I first read this.
Duty. Sorry. Go on.
When I first read this, I thought it was moronic, and then immediately I was like, "This is the greatest idea ever." Retailers want to start selling retail copies of games up to 3 weeks early,
Oh, shit.
right? And then the content will remain locked, just like it is when you do the pre-download
Okay.
until launch day.
All right.
So you will physically have the copy. But
Physically have it. You get to install it.
No rush to grab it.
No rush. You don't have to go to a midnight release.
Why do you think
Yeah.
that was a bad idea at first?
Well,
I
because-
think that actually kind of sounds convenient.
Well, because
Very much so.
Very convenient.
Well, because I just thought it seemed dumb. It was like, okay, well, retailers are grasping at straws. We want anything we possibly can to stay in business to fight against digital downloads.
Right.
Because digital downloads have.
Well, you can do that now to most of them, can you not?
What's that?
Download them and pre-install them in
Pre-advance.
advance
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is their fight against that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, we want a piece of that action.
for the hard
Right.
copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's great.
I think it's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Because I prefer
Yeah.
the hard copy.
Me too.
I like
Yeah.
as you do too. Yes,
I
absolutely.
don't know what you're talking about.
He does
Especially
not.
like collectors and cases, you know. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
You make it really
Absolutely.
hard to write true and false games
Yeah, really.
when you own every single one.
Every
of
one
them.
of them.
That is not verified.
No.
You should see what I'm buying this week. Stay tuned to Gaming Without
Uh-oh.
Parole, folks. Stay tuned. Let's make sure you come back tomorrow for Video Game True and False. It's the best 20 minutes of everybody's week.
Mine too.
But for the weekly wrap-up, I'm Brian, that's Jeremy, this is Michelle, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Fucking half frozen. It's like a slushy.
Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2, check 1. Okay, good. Well, Michelle?
Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2.
I almost called you...
Melissa.
Yep.
Melissa.
That's my cellist player.
Velociraptor.
Yeah,
Oh.
go ahead.
Check 1. Haven't you called her that before?
Many times.
Check 2.
Yeah.
Check. It's easy to do that.
His
Michelle,
only 2
Melissa.
girlfriends.
There are only
There's a
2
lot of-
girls in my life, and they're both muh.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Muh.
Yeah.
All right.
It's very understandable. I do like
I
how
don't have a joke.
cartoons like get that sound effect down pretty well, because it does sound like that. When it go, yeah.
The Sly Cooper sneaking
do-
noise.
Oh God. Yeah.
All right. All right.